Are you a sports fanatic? You get off on college football, college basketball, the NBA, the NFL, golf, ping pong, and sports betting. Wait, back up. Ping pong? What the hell? This is Jump Shots from the Goal Line.
Watch out! He's got getting away from the top speed.
Hot takes and hilarious banter on everything from college football to the NBA and everything in between, except ping pong. And we're not just flying solo. We're bringing in some heavy hitters from the world of sports. Journalists, players, legends. You name it, we've got them. Why should they have all the fun?
Bryant for the win. Bang!
This is Jump Shots from the Goal Line. Where every episode is a slam dunk. And now your hosts, Jonathan Dugan and John Henningsen.
Yo, yo, yo. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Obviously, the Boston Celtics have won their 18th NBA championship, but we don't really want to talk about that right off the rip. So I figured we would talk about, just kind of how our weekends went, how we usually do. Obviously, if you pay attention to the social media posts that we put this weekend, you would know that Henny and I actually got together. But this time we weren't just broing out. We had some special guests with us. So obviously we had our main man, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, and then we also had Chuba Ma'ai. We went ahead and had a little bit of barbecue with the boys, broke some bread. Was a lot of fun, wasn't it, Henny?
Yeah, like you were like, we weren't broing out, and then like that's all we did was just hang out.
I'm saying we weren't broing out, just you and me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we certainly were broing out.
Branched out as bros. Extended our bro tree.
Yes, I was going to say that. We extended the bro circle, so it was fun,
man,
though.
it was a good time. Like, they're awesome guys. Like, you guys obviously have seen them on the show, I'm sure, or if you haven't, go check it out. But yeah, I'll just say simply that, like, they're every bit as affable, likable, genuine, sincere dudes that you think they are here, like they are out in the world. So I think just really excited to be a part of like UVA's program right now where it is. And like also some really nice recruiting news coming in today as well. But just like awesome time to be a Wildcat and really fun time to be a UVA football fan.
Yeah, I think if our fans know anything about us, it's that, hey, we're not out here trying to break news or be like, that kind of podcast. There's other outlets for that if that's what you're looking for. But I think I can report, without getting anybody in trouble. Like, from what I gathered from our little dinner and whatever, like, the vibes are high right now with the team. I would say that. That's, if you want breaking news, there's your breaking news. The vibes are super high. I can't tell you how many times Chuba or even Ja'Cory said, like, it's an incredible team to be a part of. Everybody just seems to get along. They both are transfers in from the other programs, and they even said like it's not always like that, right? Like sometimes it's cliquey, sometimes it's whatever. And this team, it's just, dude, everybody's family. Which, if you were to tell me that a team full of a bunch of Polynesian guys, it's family, like I would believe you, because that's kind of like the whole Ohana thing. Not to be too Disney, but like it makes sense, right? They all absolutely love Coach Brennan, which was cool to hear. Ja'Cory let us know that was one of the big reasons he came back, was just like a phone call from Coach B, and just really made him feel welcome, made him feel wanted, which was, hey, that's all you can ask for as a fan of a football team. Like, that the coach is being genuine, especially after this past coach. Genuine is going to get you pretty far, I think, in this world. So overall, the dinner itself was really cool. Again, not breaking news or anything, but just letting you guys know what kind of dudes these are. Like, Ja'Cory couldn't have been nicer. How he presents himself on this podcast the last couple of times he's been on is probably not even showing the full side of him in person. Very engaging, very like awesome person, very nice, very funny. It was great to get to know him. And then Chuba is like huge. Like I'm a big man, and if you look at the picture, like I feel like I look small compared to him, but like you couldn't ask for a nicer guy. And one of the things I really took away from that dinner was just like they're both super happy to be in Tucson. Chuba has like an entire list of things he wants to do in the city. And I just thought that was really cool. As somebody that's lived here for close to 15 years, like the fact that somebody will come in and really embrace a city, not just wait for the city to embrace them, but they're actively trying to embrace the city they're in. I just thought that was really, really cool. And that was like, the warm and fuzzies that you walk away with meeting some of these guys on the team. So I don't know. I mean, do you have any impressions or anything you had to take away, Penny?
No, I mean, I would echo everything that you said. I think, like, if you haven't seen the picture, I mean, honestly, I think the camera's doing tricks to even make me look half the size that I am in that thing. Like, in reality, that Chuba is a very large man. He's he just makes me laugh, and just that that same thing this just makes me laugh about big guys in general. Like, it's the calmness of knowing that you can kill a man at any moment. Like the calmness that must come with that, like, at least from my perspective. I'm like as we talked about, I think 5'8" with the measurement with the shoes on, the NBA measurements. So, but like just the calmness that you must have in knowing that you are just you're born a bad mother. You're like, that's just who you just are. So yeah, he's a very big dude. But yeah, both just like the nicest guys. And interested in the city, engaged, like focused on a lot of other things in life, and had other interests and blah blah blah. And we'll let them maybe tell. Who knows? Maybe they come back on and they can tell their story. Certainly, probably have to, like, if we do get them back on with Chuba, we probably have to talk about the Snoop Dogg thing. Like, we did kind of get into that. Huge miss on our part, by the way, that we didn't ask that the first time. But it wasn't really well publicized. But you want
to just say what it is, because we're kind of skirting around it. But yeah, break some news real quick. It's not even news. It's just
it's just like the long and the short is that, like, he was one, like, of those kids that, like, you think of that were like, hey, remember Coach Dogg's like coaching these teams, coaching these all-star teams, coaching these kids. He's coaching them. So Coach Snoop or whatever is like Coach Diggity Dog. Was his coach for a long time. So they have like a nice real connection. And like he has some really, like, again, like, I don't want to like spill all his like his side of the story or whatever, but he also had some really nice things to say and some really cool perspective. And I mean, I'll just like say it that way, like as best I can, that like they're just really two unique, interesting, awesome, like young men. I always want to say kids because I'm so damn old, but like young men who like just have a really unique perspective, and it was really cool to get to know them. So just feel lucky to get to hang out with them, because they're just great people, like regardless of their involvement in U of A football.
Yeah, I would say that the football team's in good hands. It's going to be a really, really fun season. I think they're going to, I mean, they shocked a lot of people last year, but I think they'll shock even a few more people this year. I will also say, because Henny won't say it, but like him and Chuba are like kindred spirits. It was very funny to just see that they have a lot in common. It just so happens that one is, 6'2", 6'3", 350 pounds, and Henny's Henny size. So, but no, it was cool, man. They'll for sure be back. If the U of A communications department has anything to say about it, they won't be, but we're working on that. Shout out to Jeff Bowe, but
sour grapes. Just let it learn to let live, man. You know what I mean? You just gotta, you know what I mean, man? You just gotta let it go.
It is what it is, but they'll be back, and we'll be doing dinner with them again, hopefully with some friends. So I'm super pumped to have those guys in our corner, and hopefully they're pumped to have us in their corner. So other than that, man, the rest of the weekend, I know that when we were at dinner, we talked a lot about the US Open. Couldn't ask for a better ending, especially if you're me. If you're Jonathan Dugan and you're watching the US Open and you get to watch Roy McIlroy just absolutely blow it with a putt that even maybe I could make, probably not, but I'm gonna say I can. And not only that, but for him to lose to Bryson, who, by the way, very likable nowadays. If you ever had a bone in your body that was like, Bryson's such a, like, either an asshole, like a meathead, or this like dweeb that's just super weird, I want to know like how you feel now, because like I was really impressed. I'm sure you have your own opinion, Henny, but I was really impressed with just like all the coverage after the U.S. Open. The dude just won one of the biggest majors you can win, right? And goes out and like stays a couple hours after the fact, like literally shooting shots out there, like with people in the media, signing caps for like old people and young people alike, like just being super likable. I'm impressed with his growth. I know we talked about that on a few episodes back about just like,
Yep.
I know you said maybe it's the YouTube page or something else, but like the dude is just very, very like down to earth nowadays, it seems like. And honestly, I was super happy that he won, especially over Rory. God damn, I was real happy about that one.
So let's like take it a little bit one by one. I mean, honestly, you're more happy about the Rory collapse, right? Like you're more happy as a hater than you are as a Bryson fan.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
let's be real, Rory was about to steal my heart away when, you know, he started having some real life drama in his life finally. And he wasn't just this freaking, you know, PGA statue that he typically is. Then goes right back to being boring Rory, gets back with his wife, comes close to winning a major. Life is almost perfect for him, but guess what? Comes crashing down on him once again in a major. You know, hey, couldn't
I know.
pen a better, you know, bedtime story for old Dugan.
I thought we had a big day for marriages. Like I thought marriage was back. You know what I mean? I thought we had a big day for marriage there for a minute. I mean, Rory like absolutely stole the momentum of that tournament. Caught fire. You know, birdied 3 out of 4 holes.
Yeah.
Had complete control. Had a 2-shot lead. And then proceeded to do what we all know that he did, which is like miss short putts on 16 and 18. 16 seems to be the one that like he absolutely, I mean, he went the statistics out there. It's whatever 496 to 496 or 390, whatever he was inside of that range throughout the season. And then, sure enough, and I mean, and the thing I keep saying to myself is like, no one can hate Rory more than Rory. He feels like he just
challenge, buddy. Challenge
like,
accepted.
you know, it's like, hey, you know, hun, you keep you don't turn on the lights and you keep stubbing your toe. Like, have you just tried turning on the light? Rory just has this thing where he just like can't get out of his own way.
He's for sure cursed.
The collapse is just ridiculous. I mean, I'm not a Rory guy. Like I like picking at Rory because I know you like hate Rory. I don't hate Rory, but I do think he like is every bit as corny and has like some of those vibes that like, you know, the things that we don't like about Bryson there at any given time, they're not exactly apples to apples, but Rory being presented as a golden child and the coverage of Rory is very like,
yeah.
So like it is easy to like not root for Rory. But I did think it was funny that you also had like, I mean, I had Bryson and Rory. And then, you know, we do have some other guys kind of like lingering, and everybody's just like, not Cantlay, like just anything but Cantlay. Like we need like this has to be because Bryson and Rory, like no matter what you think of them, they absolutely move the needle in golf, right?
Oh, for sure.
Whether Rory being the golden child, as you've mentioned, for years and years and years, you know, which again now we're going on 10 years of him not winning a major, but he does have that history. He wears the Nike cap. Like it means something. Those guys that have that branding, at least
Irish
when you look
when it's
around,
convenient, you know.
He's Irish when it's convenient. He's in a divorce when it's convenient. He's married when it's convenient. He's got a lot going on that's seemingly of convenient. I mean, and, you know, I'll leave his personal life alone. But as a golfer, man, like he just
really quick. The one thing I will say, I was almost in his corner because I don't know if this was like one of those fake Twitter things, but they said one of the reasons why the divorce was on the table was because his wife was annoyed with how much golf is in his life, like how much golf like dominates his life, and I can relate to that. You know, if I try to get the bug a little too much, my wife doesn't like it either. So
that is the part of an everyman. I mean, that's the most everyman thing Rory has going on. You're right.
Unless you're John Henningsen.
Yeah, that's probably about as relatable as he's been. And then ultimately, as our boy here from Amateurs Golfing speaking to, Bryson absolutely just clutches up and steals it. Yeah. Bryson hits one. You know, he's spraying it all over the place. He starts the day, which by the way is hilarious too. Starts the day with, I don't know, like, and I don't, you know, what's going on with his driver. I don't understand what's going on with his clubs. I don't really understand. There's a lot of like fake news going on with and I don't know why people aren't quite catching on to this, but like with the Bryson like hitting a 220-yard 8-iron, but like his 8-iron's lofted like a 6. So like, then is he really hitting it 220 yard 8-iron, or is he just doctoring up? Like he's like beyond. I'm trying to think. Like he's beyond the Mr. Chipper guys and all
He's
the
a
other
mad
funky,
genius, dude.
yeah, like all the weird stuff that you see on the golf course. This guy's like, hey man, I'm gonna revolutionize it. Wait till you see this. I'm not gonna pick on all the different technologies that I laugh at out there, but ultimately, like Rory's or Bryson's classic, that guy. But he did it, man. He banged it all around. He Brandel Chambly losing his mind every time Bryson like gets lucky. Like Bryson just kept pounding it into the native areas. He'd pound it into that dirt and then whack it out, man. He's playing classic Arizona desert golf, as far as I was concerned, as legit of a championship as you can have. Yep. Dude, everything about this was awesome. Like, honestly, like from the broken driver in the morning to Rory taking it to Bryson pulling it back, the way that Bryson did it, the course being pretty sweet, the crowd, the USA chants for Rory. Anybody who doesn't like that, by the way, you're soft. Shut up. Like, shut up, dude. Like, you can't even chant USA in America anymore. Shut up. Shut up. Shut
It's the land
up.
of the free and home
Like,
of the
yeah,
brave,
like,
baby.
Rory gets into it in the Ryder Cup stuff. Like, it's all fun and like, it's like people act like that's like, what kind of crime is that? Like, you can't even. All right. But anyways, it was like the tournament was awesome. I'll stop for a second to catch my breath, but everything was awesome.
Or you could hit this point really quick from our boy Amateurs Golfing again. I want to see your opinion on this.
And this is about the Bryson Rory and the final pairing.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what the rule breakdown is and like why that happens. It is disappointing. I think the antics and the back and forth like would have been extra epic. But it works out kind of, right? Like just they ended up, then you get the split screen, they're both going, the alleged like Rory goes up and quick putts one so that he can get the roar going. So they still had like a little bit of gamesmanship. So at least they were like a pairing apart. But no doubt, like I'm with you. I would have liked to see them in the same group as well. And I do think that would have made for a better scenario. And obviously, most golf fans kind of wake up to like either you are already in the know on that, or you woke up and you're like, how are they not in the final pairing together? Like, what are they doing?
But then we wouldn't have gotten the epic shots of Rory right after, watching Bryson just smoke his ass, just, ooh. That
you
could have injected that into my veins and it would have been better than 80s crack, bro. Like, like I'm telling you right now, seeing Rory just dejected, watching Bryson just steal it from him. And to hit that shot out of the bunker too, like that's what we all wish that we could do out of a bunker. To be honest, that was like Amateurs Golfing said, just up and down. That was awesome. It
was incredible. I was already planning on my only disappointment in that incredible shot because I was I was good with kind of whatever outcome, to be honest. But the only thing that bummed me out, I thought we were getting more golf. I thought there was going to be free golf. I thought we were getting more golf, and I was like, so I thought we were going to get everything of the drama between the two all day, and then the final pairing with a 2-hole aggregate, which is weird. Another thing I'm like fast checking, like as we're going through, that it just would have been because they used to do an 18-hole playoff.
Yeah.
Which like that would have been like, I mean, again, I know it's not a real thing, but it would have been so. I mean, I would have had my day planned today. You know what I mean? I know exactly what I would have been doing. I would have watched Rory and Bryson. Yeah, that's what I mean. I was just chilling. I mean, I went and played golf, so it was fine. Don't worry. Yeah. The day was okay.
Win-win, baby.
We didn't let it waste. But I honestly too, I do blame Rory. I missed some short putts today. You just can't watch that kind of thing. This is why I turn my head away, and I try not to watch like people I'm playing with because I'm like, yeah, your swing's terrible. I can't watch you. Like it's like I can't have those thoughts. Don't watch Rory if you want to go out and visualize yourself making putts ever again. Just a little tip from your your neighborhood podcaster here.
It was also very cool and like relatable, the fact like when Bryson was, what was it on? Was it on like, I don't know which network it was on, but the guy that was shooting out of the bunker after, and they were talking about the cup and he's like, yeah, oh my God, like this is so cool. And he's like, are you going to get it cleaned or whatever? He's like, dude, there's sand from this bunker in this cup and it will stay there forever. I was like, that's so cool. Like that's just guys being dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That clip was incredible. Him walking him through it, the guy sticks it to like 2 feet.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. He gets to pretend like he gets to hold the cup. Yeah, I mean, and maybe to circle to that, everything that Bryson did, to your point, and we talked about it with like whether it's YouTube stuff, like I think some people have made the argument, right, that there's like just because there's less of him, like you can embrace him, like when you do get him for just a major,
Yeah,
like then he becomes a character, and he is like he's really good for TV.
he
He's
is.
yelling at his ball. He's like high fiving people. He's turning to the crowd. It was awesome. U.S. Open, and also I will say this too. I don't know if you have a ranking on the major championships. I wouldn't hold you to this as a, you know,
A casual.
a budding golf fan.
Yeah.
I won't even want to throw the casual at you, but as a budding golf fan, like for me, it's Masters, it is U.S. Open, then it is the British third, and then just like miles and miles behind is the PGA Championship. But the U.S. Open again to me showed me why it's number two.
Yeah. No,
So
I
you
agree
can
with
take
you.
your British Open, you stuffy losers, and shove it because when they're chanting USA on the course, getting after people, and then Rory was getting chants too. I mean, it was just a fun crowd. Like
It
that
was.
was fun, exciting, enjoyable golf. From I think I think a casual would enjoy watching that and just find it much more enjoyable. And the course was a test. It's fun to watch those guys struggle, earn every
Yeah.
birdie that they make. Dude, it was awesome. I honestly, that was as much fun as I've had watching a golf tournament in a long time, and it was two guys that I care about, but like they're not my guys.
Yeah, I same exact sentiments, right? Like I wouldn't say I'm a Bryson guy. Though like I will say with us covering the Live Tour last year and like getting to watch him literally like within 5 feet,
2 years ago already.
it's so weird, right? But
Yeah,
like seeing him and how he like dissects everything, like he really is a mad like genius. Like I don't know if you saw the clip that came out this weekend about how he like puts his golf balls in salt water because
yeah,
then he's able to see how they float and like the heavy side is on the bottom, I want to say, and then he puts like dots on all of them, and that's like making sure that the ball flies correctly. Like that shit's real. Like I saw him very close up in personal, and I remember like hearing him talk to his caddy about like I'm not a science guy, but like the Magellan effect or whatever, just how like the axis of the earth affects like the flight of the ball and stuff. And I was like, I remember being even more of a casual back then, just like, what is this guy talking about? And like just to see him out there, I think the goober level is down a bit, right? Like it's not as much as like, oh, here's Bryson again. It's like, oh, here's Bryson. Here we go. This guy's freaking funny or really like interesting. So I think him being on the CW once a week has been really good for his career, which is odd to say. But yeah, dude, in terms of your rankings, I agree. Like in terms of majors, I always think about the Masters. I always think about the US Open. The British, like if we bring it up on the show or you like talk to me about it, like yeah, I'll pay attention to it. But that's about it. I know like the FedEx, like that's not even a major, but like the FedEx
yeah.
Open or whatever, like
Big
I
check
think
though.
about I think about that because of the check, and
Which
then Rory usually plays well in that one, and I have to like
no,
hate watch.
that's probably the best tweet I saw about Rory was like, actually, Rory did collect the most FedEx points, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like the biggest break because that's what he does. Like he collects FedEx points. He always is relevant, but like he's just not because everything is
Yeah.
decided by the majors.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. And I know like Ryder Cup's not a major either, but I'll watch the shit out of the Ryder
Ryder
Cup.
Cup's
Too.
awesome. Ryder Cup rocks. I wish it
I
was
think
every
for me it
TV.
goes like just not even majors, but just like golf
Yeah,
things to
big golf
watch.
events. Yeah,
It's like Masters, Ryder Cup, US Open. Those are my three.
yeah.
You know,
And I see Ryder Cup can go. Yeah, I
it
mean,
could. It
it's
depends.
it's so good. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. When USA is getting mollywopped, it's a
Yeah,
little it's a little
goes
tougher
down a
on
little
day
bit.
three when you already know it's over. You're like, well, you know, but yeah, it was just an awesome tournament, man. I mean, it's cool to see Bryson like totally flip it though. I mean, he's the big winner from the Live Tour. Like no one's really catching wins from being in that per se. I mean, like there's
Mm-mm.
certainly people out there who will make the argument, but
Rahm's been terrible.
overall, like actually like taking a win, like in the public perception, it's like it's Bryson. It's not even like close at this point, at least to this point.
Yeah, there for like a quick second it was Brooks, but like
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of back on his Brooks shit again. So
He had a nice little like text interview though early in the weekend, which like really did what, which was it was funny, man. Like it was just funny, like that. Like Brooks has like his charm and just being like, "This isn't for me. I don't know why I'm here." I'm disinterested. That's kind of his shtick.
He is who he is.
Yeah,
You know?
but like that's what I mean. He continues to like be that. So it's like, all right, he's a little bit surly, he's a little bit this, but like that's okay. That's
He's
what I mean.
never
There's
buttoned
room
up.
for all these characters in golf.
Yeah. And it's good right now. It is sad though to see John Rahm just absolutely suck ass this year after moving to the Live Tour. But
Yeah, some injuries. We'll see.
classic Sun Devil gets the bag and gives up on life. So we get it.
We've
Seen it
seen that
before.
Yeah, we've seen that.
But talking about giving up on life, I think every Mavericks fan in America right now is feeling a little bit like that.
Mhm.
I'm not though. Hey, you know what? Like we both went into this saying, hey, this finals isn't for us. This sucks. I kind of enjoyed the Celtics a little bit though, because Tatum wasn't like the main guy. I like watching Jaylen Brown. He balled out. It's good to see Al Horford finally get a ring. It was really
Yep.
sad to see them put a graphic of him and Karl Malone together tonight. That was weird. Didn't love that. That sucks for him. It's bad for the brand, but we digress. But then, Peyton Pritchard only hitting buzzer beaters throughout the series. That was cool. And ultimately just Luka not doing, not getting the championship. That's what I'm here for. As much as our tasty guy wants to give me shit about it and say,
Mhm.
the Dallas hate's got to stop. It's not going to stop, bud. All right. I hope our awesome partnership isn't on the line, because the Dallas hate's not going to stop with this podcast. I can tell you that.
Yeah, just classic mirror bets. It's friendly banter between us and Dallas, but also keep in mind it's one of the worst cities in the country. I mean, it's just something to just to keep in mind that it's completely unlivable. Nobody likes it there, and your teams are unenjoyable. But like other than that,
Yeah.
I hope we can remain friends.
There's a great line in Gangs of New York. He's talking about Ireland at the time, but like I think it's pertinent to this situation too. That on the 8th day, God squatted over the earth and out came Dallas. So that's all we got to say about that, really. But Luka Doncic, not this year, bud. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just say I will agree with you though. Like what's been nice, I would just say like just all in all, just kind of like say it as like a more sweeping thing. Like the last couple of championships, like at the end of the year, the championship winning teams have played like a pretty good watchable brand of team ball, which is like what the Celtics were doing. Now
Mhm.
it's basically like moving the ball forever to just chuck threes, and like it's not even really good 3-point shooters chucking threes, but
Yeah.
they were good enough defensively because of Jalen and Tatum's length, and because Drew Holiday, as I will continue to beat the drum, is like the biggest pain in the ass in the league. If you have a guard that you like,
Yeah.
he will ruin that guy's life,
Mhm.
as he bothered Luka, as he bothered Kyrie, and he made all of those guys uncomfortable. But the Celtics like just continue to like out effort, out energy, and just like punk the Mavs by just like force of will.
Yeah.
So like for that, like that part was interesting for me to watch. It's weird, like because they do look like they were like unbeatable and like they're light years ahead of the league. But at the same time, like none of those stars really shone that bright for me. Like, and it's gonna come out as like Tatum hater, but it just basically we saw Tatum looking okay tonight as he was trying to like MVP trophy chase a little bit. Like, hey, I'm gonna get these ISOs in and see if I can't get a couple more. But I mean, it got ugly at times, but all in all, they were like a fun effort, energy, hustle, connected team. I don't know. They were kind of cool, but also a little lame. I don't know.
I'll say this: I was one Scott Foster game away from being super correct on a sweep, so I'll take my W.
Yeah.
There's an asterisk next to it, but Scott Foster will do as Scott Foster does. So, Mavs got one good game out of it, but it was never a close series. Like, not even. I mean, they got blown out tonight. They got blown out game 2. It happens. Ultimately, I think we were correct for once in our podcast history that the Celtics just had the right guys to make hell on earth for the Mavericks. They were just never gonna make it a thing, dude. Because like ultimately, when you have Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum as your
Mhm.
3 like switchable guys, Luka Doncic is gonna go like get his foul calls. He's gonna get his little bullshit buckets as he does. But Kyrie really, really struggled with the physicality of the series, and when they made Luka Doncic have to work on defense, it was never going to work. So, and I totally agree with this sentiment. Again, by amateurs golfing, this finals had no shock value. No, we all knew going into this that it wasn't going to be close. It was not a good matchup for the Mavs. The only way that they were going to be able to do anything is with a Luka masterclass. And it just was never going to happen with Drew Holiday out there. You're completely right on that. And to be honest with you, what you said early on, right? Last year, the Nuggets won the finals just doing very good fundamental things. I wish that we would have been able to see a Nuggets Celtics finals. That would have been way more interesting.
Yeah, I think so too.
But the cookie didn't crumble that way. We got a Mavericks Celtics finals, and it was what we thought it was, unfortunately.
Decent showing for Josh Green.
Yeah, I thought he showed really well. Great hustle guy.
Yeah, knocked down some threes. Energy looked good.
Got some
good
rebounds.
At the rim, trying to get some dunks, but yeah,
good putbacks.
We saw that from a few guys. Yeah, what else happened in this fight? I mean, it's just really it was. I mean, I thought Game 3 was actually interesting. We never got to talk about. I did love Luka fouling out, like a no defense king fouling out. Very funny. Enjoyed that a little bit.
Brian Windhorst
Windhorst
him after
dressing him down was unbelievable. But this isn't even like
Luka having to go after and apologize about calling it the refs. Again, the Rory hate that injected in my veins, I'd be a junkie, dude.
Yeah, I feel like that would look, but honestly, in this, I'm like, obviously Luka's he's a really good player, but those flaws that we all know are there become quite evident in the finals. Yep. He was the turnstile, man, and I'm sure they're gonna say he was injured and blah 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 blah, but the guys out there pretty damn efficient on offense still. I mean, he was less efficient certainly in the finals than he is typically, but he seemed like he could get where he wanted to still a lot of the time. So it's just curious. Though. Yeah, of course he did. He did. I mean, and honestly, him and Kyrie had to play 48 minutes for them. I mean, it's a good roster. Obviously, they're in an NBA Finals, but I think we all could agree, it's a pretty tough assignment to determine who that third best player is on that squad.
Couldn't tell you.
I mean, you couldn't say it. You couldn't convince me of it. There's no way.
Tim Hardaway played awful. Probably one of the worst series ever for somebody that had a little bit of
Suns fans, if you have a dream, please let it go.
Yeah, don't bring that one up. PJ Washington, maybe he played pretty well. Honestly, who else, dude? I mean, they didn't. We knew that though. We knew that though.
I know.
We.
I don't even know if they're in the finals. Honestly, you're watching them and you're like, how did they get here?
Yeah, no, I agree. I would rather watch the Timberwolves. I wish they would have played better. But it is what it is. Your brother says 24% from behind the arc. Yeah, that'll do it to you.
Yeah,
which is hilarious because both teams. I mean, Celtics shot well tonight, but overall in the series, Celtics
they didn't
shoot well either.
No.
And going into this, we mentioned that I think what were the Celtics number 1 in the league behind the arc, and I think the Mavs are 4 or 3.
They shoot a million threes. Yeah. They both just shoot a million threes.
Wasn't falling, and thankfully for the Celtics, they have 3 guys that can get to the rack. Luka can get to the rack, but he was getting just absolutely shithoused every time he did. And I think he was just falling apart. Kyrie, for some reason, is just allergic to the city of Boston ever since leaving there. And the moment he sets foot in the state of Massachusetts, it's he's just pissing down his leg. Just played terribly every time he went there.
I'm sure he ramps up, but honestly, as I watch it again today, I'm like, dude, it's to me, it's Drew Holiday. That is I mean, at least as to what happened in this series, and then just the intensity of the Celtics defense, just generally across the board. They were committed, they were playing defense, they were helping. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that's a little bit overplayed. I mean, I get it. It's a fun statistic. And if you're a Boston fan, probably no one likes you, but at least you have that or whatever. But, it's, I just think that's more to do with the defense than anything else, but maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's a curse on stepping on Lucky. Can't stand on a cartoon.
Here's a hot take, and I know you're probably gonna, laugh at it, but Drew Holiday, you think You think he's a Hall of Famer?
I'm not laughing at that. I think he is. Or he's going
Two
like,
two championships,
yeah, couple
lockdown
All-Star
defender.
games.
Yeah.
I mean, probably could have been Defensive Player of the Year any given year. They're not going to give it to Rudy next year, so he probably has a chance because Rudy never getting that thing again. They just won't
Yeah.
let him. I mean, although they say that and then they vote for him again. No, I
Horford,
think yeah.
definite like Hall of Famer too, right?
Who?
Al Horford.
I mean, I say everybody's. I think like they've ruined all the Hall of Fames anyway. Like, so quick take just to set the bar on where I stand on Hall of Fames. They've ruined all of them. None of them matter. They're all stupid. Like the dumbest people get in and don't get in and whatever, and it's so bad. But isn't like the basketball one too? Don't they also combine college? So Horford's gonna have two.
Yeah, because it's not the NBA Hall of Fame; it's just basketball. I mean, he
Yeah,
won 2 chips for Florida, which we're
right.
going to share in Twitter fingers a fun stat here soon. But won 2 chips at Florida, was one of the greatest dynasties in basketball history. There was part of a good run of teams with Atlanta. Did some really great work with Boston that ended up getting him a championship finally. So I think I agree with you. They kind of like just hand those things out as like participation trophies, kind of, if you had like a couple good years. But if we're looking at like our criteria, which I would hope that we're a little bit more staunch, I think both those guys meet the criteria of like, I would be okay if they went to the Hall of Fame. Like Drew Holiday for sure. He's got 2 championships. One with the Bucks was like an incredible run. Now, granted, Giannis went nuclear that series. We know all too well. But again, we know all too well that he also shut Booker down and Chris Paul single-handedly. In this series, like I think he was a massive, massive part of why the Celtics were able to do what they did. So, by the way, I'm sure Milwaukee's really kicking themselves with that trade.
Unbelievable trade.
Yeah.
Like
beginning of the year, I was like, this seems pretty even. They're getting freaking Dame Lillard, but
it did, but like the domino hit that Drew went to Boston, it was like this was bad.
Yeah, it's the intangibles.
Like
it really is.
That was immediately bad. And I will say, like, I do know for a fact our reaction to that was like, I don't know if this really helps Milwaukee. And we're pretty sure, I think we both are pretty sure it helped Boston. So I do feel pretty good. Like, if you want to go back and listen to the tapes, you can go listen to them, fact check us. But I know specifically like going through and being like, I don't really know if I get this. Now, we also thought like the Suns thing was going to make sense, and I'm wearing the hat like a clown. But like, but I do think we had a pretty good feel on like, I don't know if this makes a lot of sense for the Bucks, and to have the Bucks, one of their best pieces that they just flipped immediately come to a rival. That was not good. That was not good. They let that one get out of their hands.
Yeah. This series did make me realize and made me even more sad to be a Suns fan. So I'm glad you're wearing that hat. But watching guys like Drew Holiday, like I just mentioned, intangibles, like is Drew Holiday the best point guard in the league? No, right? Like he's not even that great of a distributor. Doesn't score like insanely well, right? But what he does better than anybody else is the intangible stuff, just like all out effort, super heady player on defense, very athletic, takes the right shots. And watching guys like that, watching Al Horford doing Al Horford things that we've been used to for 10 years, watching Jaylen Brown what I like about Jaylen Brown is like, I think he's just as talented as Jason Tatum, but he doesn't take asinine shots like Jason Tatum, which, shout out to Jason Tatum. You got to have an alpha, I think, to win a championship. That's your guy. But watching the Celtics, it was just like, damn, that's what the Suns are missing. It's just like a cohesive unit with guys that, have the intangibles. If you ask me to name one guy on the Suns that has anywhere close to the intangibles that like Drew Holiday has, I couldn't tell you a player. There's nobody, like Chris Paul. I think when we went to the finals had some of that, just kind of like, he's going to spit in your face. He's going to be annoying. And like, you need that. There's not a single player on the Suns that has that right now. Yeah, a little ball tap every now and again, get in the face of Scott Foster as well. Like you need some of that. And that's what makes me nervous even going to next year. You can add Coach Bud, you can go out and draft Bronny, but who's going to be your dog? Who's the guy? And I don't think they have it. And I don't know who they add to do that. So I don't know. Is Drew Holiday available again?
I know. Is he available, or can we have Derek White? Because like by my eyes tonight, they had a combined 37 offensive rebounds between their two guards. 16 blocks, 14 steals, and then like hit dagger threes. And every time one of their wings, like came off, off a couple dribbles, found some pressure. They're the cutters. They hit the rim, and it's just like, this is so simple. Like, this game is so simple when they do it right. And Drew's one of those guys that makes everything look real simple. So yeah, he's probably to bring it all the way back around. He's probably in my Hall of Fame. Horford has to be because of his college resume.
Yeah.
If I was redoing it all, they're probably in my Hall of Very Good, and they're not Hall
Yeah.
of Famers in the NBA. But
Yeah.
in the totality of everything, yeah, like they're gonna make it, and certainly not. They're champions, man. Those guys are winners. So like, no, they deserve it.
18. Can we talk about that though? Like,
Yeah, it's pretty
18
crazy.
chips, dude. And you can call them fraudulent if you want to talk about the Plumbers League back in the 50s and 60s, but like,
For sure.
dude, they've got the aura, as the kids like to say nowadays. They definitely do, So shout out to them. I also love the fact that they're one up on the Lakers now, because in terms of like the hate rankings, I definitely hate the Lakers more than the Celtics. I don't know about you.
I don't even know. Like, I think I'm like kind of in between. I mean, I think it's exciting that Lakers are already putting out all the stuff, like trying to detract from, this, like, hey, wasn't this the easiest championship ever? I already got some of those like texts from some of my Lakers friends, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I know, man, it's almost like as bad as a bubble championship, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
I was
totally.
like, wow, you're right. This was terrible. I'm like, you guys
This was
both
real
suck.
Mickey
That's
Mouse, wasn't it?
I was
Yeah.
like, good point. I was like, I don't even think you can hang any of these banners. It's a good point. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I think yes. Like, you hate the Lakers more because we're in the West, but the Celtics are like. I mean, Boston fans are like
The worst.
so obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like, they're.
Yeah.
I mean, and not like every single time, not every single one, of course, but it's
No, I
tough,
mean,
man. It's just they just won so much. Like, in every sport, it's so annoying.
listen to this text that I got from one of my Celtics friends. He said, everywhere but Boston is a third world country.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're dealing with, And
Well, enjoy your Sam Adams. It sucks.
yeah, enjoy your Sam Adams and your racism,
I know they will forever just be. I mean, again, true or untrue, which obviously I think there's some legitimate history there. They're never gonna be able to wash that away. Like, they just can't get away from that. It's like Celtics championship, third message in there, racist. It's like,
absolutely.
like, yeah, and like, I'm like, well, could be worse.
Yeah, I guess so. But hey, good for them. By the way, Suns, if you want the intangibles, go get TJ McConnell. I'd fully sign off on that. Give that to me every single day of the week.
I know.
So.
Just give me Drew Light.
Yeah. Wow. You play on words there?
It just worked. I don't know. It just came to me. I blacked out.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and it's gonna be a lighter episode today. Obviously, not a whole lot to talk through, but my favorite time of the show. Twitter fingers. So let me go ahead and pull up the good old x.com. Elon's, wow, look at that really quick. That wasn't even intentional, but I do love that. Yeah.
You're like, it's just there, and it's just
little Luca. Hey, who's complaining here? Not me, not this guy.
Yeah.
This is not
while it's still cold.
This is not a tweet. This is something that I took a screenshot of and just sent to the chat because I think it's awesome and I want it. Arby's, yes, Arby's, America's favorite fast food restaurant, has created its own burger driver golf club. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can now hit the links and hit your ball with a freaking hamburger from Arby's. I'm telling you right now, if this thing was going to be bestowed upon me, I'd accept it as quick as I could. You're telling me I can hit just freaking nukes with a burger? I mean, that's sick. That's awesome. I don't know how you feel.
I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. So, like, are they making a club that's like going to look like a hamburger that you can hit a golf ball with?
Yes.
I mean, I'd like to see it. I do want to. This does bring me to, like, when was the last time you were at an Arby's? Like, do you eat Arby's?
I do, actually. Funny enough, I had a meeting at work today, and they asked me what my top 3 favorite French fries were. I'm sure you're gonna freaking make fun of me for this one, but I said Burger King was number 3. Number 2 was Rally's. I don't know if you know what Rally's is.
I know, I'm familiar with Rally's.
Yeah, Rally's seasoned fries. Yeah. And then number 1 was Arby's curly fries. I think those are delicious. And I also will say Arby's has one of the better value like values in fast food. Like they're 2 for $5 or whatever. You can get like a roast beef sandwich and a chicken sandwich. It's delicious. I love Arby's. I stan Arby's.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I've had Arby's in like 10. Like I don't even know.
I mean,
Like I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I know they have the roast beef, obviously, Arby's.
they do have
But
the meat.
yeah, they have the meats. I'm sure they still have cheddar. But
They
like
do.
I just haven't been to Arby's, and so I remember their fries being good, like from
Yeah,
being a kid
delicious.
or whenever. I couldn't even tell you the last time I had Arby's, and it's not because I've never ever eat, but it's just not that one never makes it in the rotation.
It's not in your zeitgeist. I get it.
No shade at Arby's. My buddy did take those ugly steaks that you can get over here at Dickman's here.
Yeah.
Very local take, but he just like made those and he just like doused them in Arby's and horsey sauce.
Yeah, it's good.
I was like, all right, man, like whatever you want to do.
Why not, dude? Get weird.
I don't have that urge to do that, but like hey, it made sense to me. I've heard of crazier things.
Well,
and
I mean, says Dugan, that's not the driver play. I mean, why is it not? I mean, that's what I want to know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not sure what to. I'll be following along. I will say a favorite Twitter account,
Nihilist Arby's. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably only get 2 tweets a year out of the guy, but
they're always bangers.
They're always
sure.
bangers, man. So if you're looking for a Twitter follow and have a a darker side to your humor.
Amateurs golfing. I want to know though, like, why is this not the driver play? You're telling me that if I'm out there hitting the links with Henny, I pull out a tasty, all right, a lemon lime tasty, been chewing on that bad boy for a couple holes, tee up my Strixon or something else, all right, my Callaway, my super soft, bright red, of course, throw it on there, and I pull out my Arby's, I pull out my Arby's burger driver. You're telling me that like the starter's not going to come over and shake my hand? I disagree, bud. That's going to be the talk of the town. And this for sure, maybe a fresh beef and cheddar on the turn. That's always acceptable. You're telling me after 9 tough holes in the Arizona heat, a beef and cheddar, you could have that to turn? You're doing that 10 out of 10 times.
Do you think like that Arby's like like that roast beef sandwich like is really like, is it the best roast beef sandwich in the game?
Fast food wise?
I mean, just like, I don't know. Like I have this argument with because I have a friend who's like, why don't you go to Arby's? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I can just like I can make a sandwich at home. Like that's just
you're not making warm roast beef at home, Henny.
This is his argument too. And I'm just like, my memory of Arby's is like, this is not blowing my mind. Like I could pile roast beef like at home and like do something and like I would be fine. I'd be satisfied. I don't feel like I'm missing anything by not getting the Arby's experience. Obviously, you have a different opinion. I respect that opinion.
You're telling me,
yeah, he thinks I'm like great. Like he's like you're not making that roast beef at home, and I'm like, you're right. I'm probably not going to heat up roast beef. But like, I'm not even eating that much roast beef. Like, I mean, I don't even know what we're talking about, to be honest. But I had to ask.
You're telling me that for $5, it doesn't get you slightly like interested. The fact that you can get thinly sliced roast beef that is nice and warm on an onion bun with some nice cheddar cheese right on top. And then not only that, you can get some sick ass curly fries right next to it with a Jamocha shake. I don't know if they still have those, but they used to, and they were really good. And
that's like Java chocolate.
Yes.
Like coffee chocolate, Jamocha.
Yeah.
Okay.
You love coffee, you know? I mean,
I do, yeah, but I wouldn't put chocolate in it. Yeah.
Maybe.
I was like, yeah, but you ruined it. Yeah. I was like, yeah.
But you could also get like a freaking buffalo chicken sandwich on the side. By the way, their buffalo chicken sandwiches, everybody wants to talk about Popeyes. Dude, theirs is pretty good. All right. It's not bad. So just saying, Arby's
sponsorship. I mean, what are we doing, Arby's? Where are you? I mean, Tasty, we love you. We love you. But Arby's, where are you at?
Well, we do have a flavor contest coming up with Tasty. I'm just saying, we throw out maybe like a roast beef sandwich flavor.
Oh, yeah. Roast beef. Yeah.
Get weird, dude.
Nothing more refreshing on the course than a roast beef.
I mean, hot take for Hot Sammy's, Firehouse slaps harder than Arby's. Firehouse is good. I will say that.
Yeah, that speaks to me. That speaks to me. Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like we can go up the sandwich ladder rung so quickly, and how quickly we forget Arby's exists. And I know it's a fast food, so like we got to classify it where it needs to be classified. But
there's no other fast food like it. You have to admit that. There is nobody
Yeah, it
else
is
doing
unique.
roast beef.
It is unique for sure.
Yeah. All right. We're off the Arby's game. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's like I had to ask. I had some pretty serious questions about Arby's. So
Yeah, no, I get it. It comes up every now and again. This is from you. The first NBA finals that should have been shown exclusively on NBA TV. I agree with you. It should have been. I mean,
yeah,
like,
shout out to Hector. He was on it. This I was like, yeah, that actually kind of what it felt like.
how sad were you, by the way, seeing the TNT boys kind of like go out the way that they did? You know, Charles Barkley saying he's retiring no matter what. A little
Yeah,
nostalgic.
well, we'll see. I just think it's like a we'll see. Like I think these guys. Chuck says a lot of things, so
He
we'll
does.
see. I'm glad we have one more year, so I'm not gonna panic yet. But
Scottsdale House ain't going to pay for itself. You know what I mean?
But be careful what you wish for, NBA. You know, they killed the Pac-12, and we saw what happened to Bill Walton. So be careful what you do with the NBA and TNT.
Don't put that out there. Chuck
I'm just
is
saying,
not going
dude,
anywhere.
Cool. It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool, and it won't be cool. I'm trying to just warn people.
If Chuck passes away, I swear to God.
I
sent this one to you from Barstool. I just put it because pain as a Suns fan.
Yeah,
you look at this.
Totally. Yeah.
Jaylen Brown goes one pick before Bender. Tatum goes one pick before Josh Jackson. By the way, I remember being in the trenches and us as Suns fans saying, man, Celtics are stupid. They could have had Josh Jackson and they go with Tatum. Boy, do we look dumb as hell 10 years later, don't we?
Yeah.
It's bad. You know?
Yeah.
You have your core championship.
Like, looks pretty bad. I mean, in the Air Fox is there too, who doesn't seem too bad after all either.
And Chris Dunn, you know, because
honestly, yeah. I mean, at least Bender's in the league.
I mean, hey, it could be worse. We could be the Lakers. Look, Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, like,
yeah, that's true.
Before,
it's true.
You want to talk about copium for the Lakers? They're doing a lot of copium today.
Or if you want to continue to go up the ladder, look at those Sixers. What they did with those number one picks.
Just two terrible point guards.
I mean, yeah, like a left-handed or right-handed shooter and a left-handed or right-handed shooter. They picked two guys that don't even know which hand they play with. Incredible.
And both have just mental blocks with the game of basketball. So
yeah, Fultz is hanging in there, but tough.
Exactly.
Tough scene, Sixers fans.
This was the stat I was referencing earlier that Henny talked about. My favorite NBA Finals stat, courtesy of Talk Hoops. Al Horford was drafted one day prior to the first iPhone being released. My man has been in the league for close to almost 20 years? Has to be, right?
I just can't even I don't remember when that happened, but it just feels like I've had an iPhone for a billion years now.
I mean, and I feel like Al Horford has been in the league for 1,000 years. It wasn't that long ago to me. If you asked me how long ago was it that the Atlanta Hawks whole starting five was going to be the starting five for the All-Star game, I would have told you 4 years ago. But that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was definitely, it was. You know? That was Coach Bud, right?
Yeah, it was Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver. It wasn't Joe Johnson, right?
I don't think so.
Who was their four? Their three? Oh, it was Damari Carroll.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember
that's
Damari Carroll?
Pull. Yeah, that's a good pull. I was like, I don't even I could barely draw a picture from memory of that guy at this point. But yeah.
And then
I can't draw. But
it was Al Horford, and who was their four?
I don't know.
Too hard.
I'm racking my brain for some weird names right now.
It's not there anymore. So, but yeah, he's been in the league for a hot minute. I mean, the iPhone thing is just mind blowing because
that's just like a crazy stat. Also, the first comment, of course, with the pretty solid too.
We got Derek White and his messed up teeth because he got freaking annihilated in the mouth tonight, looking just like Dumb and Dumber. Fun story about that. My wife, as my wife does, will look at her phone the entire night. And as soon as, of course, Derek White is, giving a speech about his finals performance, that's when she looks up and goes, "Oh my God, he's not a pretty boy at all. Look at his teeth." And I'm like, "Babe, he literally got hit in the mouth tonight." She's like, "Oh my God." Let's give the guy a break, But yeah, he's looking pretty rough there.
This is really just to bring up Dumb and Dumber. I mean, like, there's just not that. I'm like, there's pretty good like U.S. Open content. Like, there really just wasn't anything exciting about the finals, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna send him something with Dumb and Dumber. So if we get on the show, at worst case, we can end it with like, big gulps, huh?
Yeah.
Well, see you later.
Dumb and Dumber was great. Dumb and Dumber 2 was not. So there's that. Cool story, Derek White, though. He's come a long way. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, he was awesome, and that's the thing too. He's like, yeah, he was incredible throughout the series. So deserved a lot of credit there.
I sent this one.
You know what?
Game 5 Luka.
You know which one I liked of the Luka pictures? The ones that all the James Corden ones.
Oh my god! I didn't see.
He does look a lot like him. He looks a lot like him.
Any of that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think I was like already just like so over this. Like I kind of like laughed at Luka the first couple games, and I was like, this thing's freaking over, dude. This is cooked. So
this is exactly how I pictured him, though. Like the whole night, he was just heavy breathing. I mean, my man was looking heavy.
This should have been one of those like for every time I get 10,000 likes, I make Luka bigger.
Yeah, still can.
It really would have been the move, we can running out of ideas on the old Twitter account. Yeah,
we can pull that Canvas description right back out. So if the people want it, we can do it. This was great. So shout out. I know people we always say this and they're like, who the hell are you talking about? But shout out to our buddy Hesse.
Silent producer.
Silent producer. He sent this to us and then you found it on the Twitter feeds. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't think we'll get a copyright strike for this because it's them singing it. But yes, the melding of two great worlds. Higher.
I know you do. You rock. You're telling me. I know you do.
I am seeing Creed in September, bro. Live and direct. And I paid more money for better seats, dude. I love Scott Stapp. All right, like I'm a dad. Okay,
of course you do. Of course you are.
I mean, look. At the end of the day, I am 32 years old. I grew up right when Creed was Creeding, all right? And just as another like side note, I like Creed so much that when my first child, Madeline Dugan, was born, I literally played with arms wide open in the delivery room as she was being born. Because if there's ever been a song that is more like Dad's Rock, it's that song, all right? So if you're going to combine mariachi with the sweet, sweet melodies of Scott Stapp and Creed, I'm here for it. I could eat some chips and salsa to this.
I mean, I'm pro mariachi, so like I'm excited about the mariachi part. It makes me laugh that they're doing Creed. Yeah, your music taste will forever make me laugh. Like even though there's like we definitely like we meet in the Venn diagram. Yeah, we meet in the Venn diagram at times, but there's things going on in this second circle that like I just cannot associate myself with. This does remind me though, and our friend at Amateurs Golfing, he does have a YouTube channel which you can follow as well. He's nice enough to throw up a clip of one of my Eagles, so shout out to him for throwing it up. But I will say he has a clip of himself holding out at an Eagle, and you can hear Limp Bizkit playing in the background, and again also Dead. I'm like, what is going on with like my like what are my friends listening? Like what's like still Limp Bizkit, still Creed? Bro. I know what's going on. No,
man, bro. Like Amateurs Golfing, you and I need to go hit the links together, and we'll get all the good music going on, and Henny can just be in his own little cart by himself, listening to J. Cole or whatever the yacht rock you listen to. So, but hey, that's fine. Great video, love it. I wish there was more content like that in the world. God, here we go. Let me go ahead and play this.
Crowd reacting to the replay on the big screen. Washington just trying to send a little message, play some physical basketball.
If that were Caitlin Clark, it might spark a debate for a week.
God, I love Doris Burke.
Shots fired from Doris.
Yeah. Here we go. Amateurs
Yeah.
golfing, you are always welcome in the chat, by the way, if you're gonna just
Yeah.
be dropping sick lines like that. But yeah, dude, like the Caitlin Clark stuff is out of control. It's out of bounds, as Guy Fieri would say. Like, dude, it's on CNN, it's everywhere. Now it's making its appearance in the NBA finals. But if Doris Burke's saying it, I have to accept it because she's pure and good and everything that's right in basketball.
Yeah,
So,
Doris is great. And really, I don't even know what's going on in the W, but it is like absolutely wild. Caitlin Clark, as you mentioned, is just we've
out of
lost
bounds.
our minds. We've lost our minds with Caitlin. Like there's no rational conversation to be had, so I'm not even going to try to have one.
Yeah, I mean, all I'll say is I get the people that are like, dude, what the hell? Like, why are they not protecting Caitlin Clark? But then at the same time, it's the same people that were bitching that WNBA is boring. And here we go. Now we just get freaking, rage in the cage every time Caitlin Clark sets foot in Chicago, and I'm here for it. I think it's cool. So,
And
I
it's
don't
a
know.
classic, like, I don't care about this, but let me tell you how much I care take.
Mm-hmm.
Like always,
Yeah.
it's always like, I don't care about the WNBA as a disclaimer, and then talk to you about 30 minutes about why they should be protecting Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You said you started with, you didn't, it's been 30 minutes.
I personally don't watch the WNBA, so I don't really care at all. So,
Yeah, the Shane Gillis clip of him from Hot Ones probably sums up, I think, most men's feelings on the WNBA. And not that it's not a fine league, but not everybody's watching. Let's not lie to ourselves.
yeah, it's not meant for everybody. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Here we go. Landon Donovan.
Yeah, just yeah, do we know what was going on? What is
Is this
this?
photoshopped? I don't know, dude. Obviously the Euros are going on right now. Copa America will be starting next week. All right, before I go any further, to all my footy heads out there, yeah, it's finally happening. We're talking a little bit of footy right now. I know that shout out to Colin, one of our listeners, said
Bass fishing here in a minute.
yeah, well, to each their own. But we did get a request for more footy talk, so here it is, Colin. Landon Donovan has been losing his hair for going on about 20 years, and it's reached its breaking point. As you can see, I am a man of lesser hair. If I ever get to this point, Henny, you got to hold a gun to my head. It's either
Yeah.
shave it off or no more pod, because this is bad. This is real bad. This is like Trump levels bad.
Yeah, it's just tough. I mean, I always feel tough. It's hard for me to comment. I mean, I just have so much wonderful hair that it's just like it's. I don't know if it's really fair for me to comment. But this is rough look, man. But I did want to ask because we're staying in our soccer stuff here. Did you see this like story? And I don't know the relevance to it or like how true it is or whatever. But did Fox like sell off the rights to one of the games and then ultimately play bass fishing, like some sort of fishing tournament, in place of one of these Euro events?
So we were talking about that at work. I think that was today, right? Where like one of the games was on FS1, and if you try to go to FS1 today, like they were not showing it. And I guess they were showing bass fishing, which you're in America, baby. That's what the people care about. Right?
Yeah. So, like, this is the thing. Like, this is just another thing America wholeheartedly rejects. I don't know why you guys want to adopt this so badly. Like, I don't know what I can try. Like, get me in for the World Cup, and again, I'll do the song and dance then because I'm a patriot like you.
Yeah,
but I just footy.
For you, it's much like the U.S. under 21 team winning the Cricket World Championship, or I don't even know if they won the whole thing, but they definitely beat Pakistan.
I don't know, but they beat Pakistan. Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, goddamn right we did.
Yeah,
bunch of losers. Go play baseball. Look what happens when you come to America. We've been playing baseball for 150 years. We pick up the cricket stick for a couple hours and we kick your ass.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Be happy Bryce Harper hasn't picked up that paddle.
Dude,
thing
oh my God.
yet.
Can you imagine?
If we would rock at it though, right? Yeah, we'd be awesome at it.
A cricket player, it's over, dude. It's over. So, yeah. But, you can say that for most European sports. They always make that, right? Like, if LeBron James played soccer, we'd be
yeah, for sure.
But,
pretty sure that doesn't add up. I'm pretty sure that math doesn't always work that way, but it's fun to say.
Oh, that was the last one. So
Yeah, that's
we
it, man.
shared that
We
with
got
Bill
through
last
it.
week. So we
Light
did.
week.
Light week, but hey, Celtics are NBA champions. Bryson DeChambeau beat Rory. And we had dinner with the U of A boys. So all in all, great weekend. Really good. Luka didn't get a championship, just kind of the cherry on top of the Sunday for us. But we are getting kind of into the slow and silly season of the off season here pretty soon. If you guys are avid listeners of the show, this is typically when we start talking about like Salma Hayek and things of that ilk. So
Yeah,
if
Arby's
that,
chat was probably a good teaser.
yeah, if that's
Shit.
clever for you,
If you
get
like that
ready.
Arby's, if you like that Arby's shtick that we were into, like the little
Yeah.
Arby's breakdown, like you are gonna love the summer months on this show.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of golf talk. My old lady's letting me golf a little bit more, so that's going to be cool. We'll have more stories about that. We'll be busting out the tasties, and if, by the way, if you haven't gone and gotten your tasties yet, what are you doing? They got like fun packs now where you don't even have to buy the whole thing. You know, you can go
Yeah.
and like try out some tasties. You can taste some tasties, but they got tons of flavors. They're going to be having some more flavors here pretty soon if you guys have anything to do with it. But dude, go out. It's beautiful weather outside. The course is calling out to you. By the way, summer rates, it's cheap. You know, the Henny made a great comment to me this week that the 4 sleeves of golf balls that you're going to buy is probably going to be more expensive than your round. Go out and hit the links. Go give it a try. Even my wife, who doesn't give a shit about golf, she's going out and trying golf this Wednesday. So, you know,
We
if
are
she can do
gonna
it,
hold you to that report, by the way.
yeah, I'll have a full report. If
The
you,
people are gonna need to know, like, like I mean, this is something that I'm curious about, right?
yeah,
My wife is not interested in this at this point,
mhm.
but we're gonna put you out there and we're gonna test the waters and see what it's all about.
I'm gonna give you a quick warning. Jen's gonna pick out a really cool outfit, and I'm gonna take some like videos of her just like, you know, looking cute and drinking drinks and being out in nature. Your
Yeah.
wife is gonna see that, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, John, why don't we go golfing?" Just letting you know it's gonna happen, and you're gonna say, just what amateurs golfing just said. This is my worst nightmare.
This is exactly what my response was to you initially. You're like, dude, I'm stoked. My wife's gonna play golf with me. I was like, that sounds terrible, dude. I'm so excited for you.
It's gonna end up like I love you, man. Just it is like she's gonna hit me with a golf ball. It's somebody's gonna get it on video. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that she's embracing a hobby that I am so lovingly getting into. So that's all I can ask for. But all of the rest of you, go get some tasties, get on the
Yes.
course, you know,
Yes.
and make it happen. And guess what? If you're like, but you know, I don't know, we have a code for you, don't we, John? What is that code that they can put in at Tasties and get a little bit of a discount? I think it's just Jump Shots Pod, right? It's 15% off.
Jump shots. Yeah, dude. I had to check the cards. That's embarrassing. Code jump shots. Well,
Jump
I have one
shots.
code to remember, guys. One
Yeah.
code.
In fact, let me see if I can do this really quick. Watch this. Code. This is just like active podcasting right now.
Also, if you're listening, Jen, like I support you playing golf. I think it's wonderful.
Yep. Code right there, Jump Shots. That'll get you 15% off. Go try out your tasties. They're so good. So freaking, it's so much better than having a lip in. It's so much better than, you know, smoking a stogie, whatever it is. It's better for you. They taste better. You can use them.
Plus, like golf guys like gadgets, games, gimmicks, like roast beef, hamburger drivers. And if you give a guy a flavored tea, dude, you're blowing their mind. You're officially the cool guy. They remember you now. And if you're that guy who's trying to find that foursome, that group that invites you out every weekend, you're not sure if you're putting on the wrong deodorant, your game's not right, you maybe had something in your teeth. No, man, you're just not bringing tasties, bro.
It's true.
Bring a little something to the table. Your personality might be lacking. Grab some flavored teas.
The only thing that can make a foursome on the golf course just like be more excited is if you go to shankitgolf.com, type in Jump Shots Pod there, get 15% off there as well, and get yourself a cheetah leopard print polo like your boy has. So
yeah, if you want to, you want a name like Big Cat, there's your ticket.
Yeah. And by the way, in terms of the merch stuff, we will probably be having an update for you here in sometime this summer. So Henny's working on it. We got a guy. We'll have that stuff out to you here soon. So
Got a guy.
look at it. Listen, Jump Shots Pod isn't just bringing you good like Arby's content. We're gonna be bringing you tasties, freaking merch, freaking all the stuff, dude. So make sure that you guys are tuning in week over week because stuff changes. And plus, do you really want to miss the childhood crush draft where I get to talk about Malcolm in the Middle's mom? All right, that's the kind of stuff you miss out on.
Yeah, that is exactly what you're missing out on.
Yeah,
You're gonna find out how weird this guy is. It's not just
That's right.
seasoned curly fries that he's ranking way above everything else. He's got a lot of other kinks that we got to dig into.
Jane Kazmarek, if you're listening to this podcast, go ahead and leave a comment. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Other than that, guys, make sure you're subbing to the pod. Go ahead and click like or subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Follow us on socials, Twitter/X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of them. But make sure you go ahead and do that. We're putting out pretty cool content, and we would love for you to be a part of it. So with that, guys, stay safe, go buy some tasties, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.